And we're here at Walmart, so I'll never make it for 8 o'clock. So I figured I'd come on now. I'm trying to get the sun off of me here, and it's tough to do. Let me see if that helps. Not really. Okay, all right. Let's see. Will that move? It does move, but it didn't help, did it? Where's that sun at? All right. Okay, I think that will have to do. So anyway, greetings everybody. This is the 20th, I believe, May 20th. It is 7:22 p.m. Central Standard Time, so we're coming a little early, but can't be helped. I have not yet done my my must-be qualifications of the pasture yet, but we will get to that sometime soon. Okay, so we're discussing. We're on the topic of God's prophetic calendar. Remember, we mentioned the 7 feasts that in Leviticus 23. The first 4 of those feasts have been fulfilled, although there's some disagreement on Pentecost, and that's fine. You can be wrong if you want, and I believe Pentecost was fulfilled, and I believe, well, we'll get to that in a minute, but I believe the final 3 are still out there awaiting fulfillment. So let's look at the first 4 feasts. I don't know how far we'll get tonight. We won't get very far, but going to keep these brief. In Leviticus 23, the very first feast, by the way, this is the beginning of everything. Passover. Passover. You'll see Passover described way back in Exodus 12 and in many other places throughout the Bible. And Passover is where you would take a lamb without blemish, a male lamb, and you would kill it after watching it for 4 days to make sure that it was okay. A perfect lamb, not sick, not ill. And then on the 4th day, on the 14th, you would kill that lamb. So technically, Passover would begin on the 10th of Nisan, or Abib, with the choosing of a lamb, and would end on the 14th with the killing of the lamb. Now you say, well, Brother Good, I look at my calendar and they say Passover goes for several days. That's modern Judaism. That is not biblical practice. It's very, very clear in Leviticus chapter 23. The dates and times are all spelled out. Passover ends when at the end of the 14th with the beginning of Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, and of course Passover is a prophecy of the coming Messiah that's going to pay our sin debt, right? So these are all, remember I said there's 3 ways to look at all the scriptures and 3 ways to look at Leviticus 23, literal, figurative, and prophetic. We're going to mainly talk about the prophetic views, but we did talk a little bit about the literal and of course the figurative lessons here as well. But the prophetic is that a Messiah is going to come, and he's going to fulfill this Passover lamb. That's why John the Baptist cried out, "Behold, the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sins of the world," when he saw Jesus walking towards him. And what was he saying? He understood that Jesus was the fulfillment of this Passover lamb that began in the days of Moses in Egypt. The first Passover took place 3 days before they crossed the Red Sea. And and it all pointed to something. All pointed to a Messiah that was going to come and pay the sin debt of the world. Okay, so that's a prophecy. That's the first of the 7 feasts right there. The Passover lamb, prophetic of Christ coming. And of course, 1 Corinthians 5:7, what's that say? Christ, our Passover, is given for you. That's Paul acknowledging that Jesus was and is the Passover lamb. He is what those lambs represented in the Old Testament. Okay, so all 7 of these feasts have this same thing. All 7 of the feasts in Leviticus 23 have a prophetic understanding. Okay, now we're going to stop right there, and we'll come back tomorrow with some more on these God's prophetic calendar. God bless.